Hello, it's Red76. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be playing King's Quest III, To Err is Human. Just doing a mic check, mic check. And I'm going to type, see how loud that is. Is that too loud? It's really not too bad. Alright, so this is a little bit of a different game and a little bit more of a challenge at the beginning, which I like. I do have my trusty physical King's Quest manual for the collection series by Sierra. I've got it right here in my hand. You know what? I can actually show you. Alright, so check this out. And the reason why I'm leaving the camera off is just so you can see more of the screen. So this is the original manual that I got with the collection when I bought it. This is like the manual for all 7 games. The 8th game is not included in this. But I found this at a retailer, man, when I was a kid I got this. And I only had like the 7th game, I think. And I don't remember what store it was. It could have been a GameStop or an EB Games or something. Some computer store out here, either in Fort Worth or Arlington. I just can't remember where. It was years ago. I mean, we're probably talking over 20 years ago. And I remember my mom taking me there, and I saw this box. Like, I think it was the big box. Man, I wish I kept that. The big box the computer games came in, not the ones that are like this size, you know, later, 20 years later. But it was I think it was the big one though. I think, and this must have been around maybe the year 2000, maybe 2001. I can't remember. I probably was in 6th, 7th, or even 8th grade. I don't remember, but and I was excited when I found it, and I was like, man, now I can play the whole series and figure out, you know, learn about what the story is. So this character is not on this one. For those of you who aren't familiar with the series, the main character, his name is, I think it's pronounced Gwydion. It's either Gwydion or Gwydion. I'm going to say Gwydion because that's what I think it is. But you're going to learn about Gwydion. He's a new character. He's 18 years old, and he's a slave to an evil wizard. This game came out 1986, I want to say. Let's double check. I think it came out in 1986, and I'm sorry if the typing's a little too loud. I don't mean for it to be. It's kind of hard. With the older games, it's a little bit difficult. Once we get into King's Quest V, I'll be using the mouse more, because then it's point and click. This game was released by Sierra November 1986. It was on MS-DOS, Apple II, Apple IIgs, Amiga, Atari ST, Mac, Tandy Color Computer 3. Man, long time ago. This game, I think this is one, actually, excuse me, I think this is one of my favorite King's Quest games. 3 and it's kind of funny. 3, 5, and 7 I think are my favorites. 7 is my all-time favorite, and the reason for that is because that was the first one I played. But it uses, from what I understand, it uses the AGI machine, the AGI engine and it's still EGA, right? These graphics. Those of you down in the comments, or if you're watching live, you can correct me. But Gwydion, here's me. Gwydion it's spelled GWYDION. So no last name. The wizard is Mananan. I think that's how you pronounce it. MANANNAN. Mananan. So new characters. We're not reprising the role of King Graham. But on the last game, he did rescue the fair maiden in the court's tower, and her name was Valanice. So we're moving right along. I can't really say a whole lot because I'm going to ruin the story if I do. This is a good one. So let's get started. How about that? But yeah, really cool book if you are a King's Quest fan. If you buy a King's Quest collection on Steam, right here you got a view manual, and it'll open up the digital version of this. Okay, it's funny. I gotta show you this. There are these. So in the manual, there are a whole bunch of spells you can cast, and you're supposed to use them. This is probably, I don't know if unless again you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is probably the first game that had spells where you could cast them in the game, in any video game. Am I wrong? Or was there another game before this, before 1986? Maybe there was. I don't know. So this is the one we're playing. That's the cover art to it. I can show you a better picture than that, but in here I found my handwriting from when I was a kid. And there's this one spell. It's called Becoming Invisible. Page CLXIX. And it has the ingredients and then the directions and what you're supposed to do to utilize the spell. And look at my handwriting right here. Probably hard to see. I made a note because the actual instructions, I made a note right here, my bad handwriting, as a middle school or high school student, probably middle school. And the instructions right here were incorrect because when I kept doing it, it wasn't working. And I probably had to look up a hint or something online back then. And so it said measure a spoon of cactus juice, right? And it wasn't working, so I had to write down squeeze cactus in the spoon. And it's just funny to see my own handwriting there from years ago. It's kind of nostalgic in a way. Just kind of took me back just seeing that. So these games have a lot of meaning to me as far as just my childhood and everything. So really enjoying. Let's get started. I can kind of reminisce while I play the game. And I'm gonna jump out of here. I'll still see you in the game though. All right, King's Quest 3. Let's do it. Gwydion is a lonely lad of 17 who has lived for as long as he can remember with an evil and cruel wizard by the name of Mananan. Gwydion gazes upon the countryside of Ludor with longing, wishing he were free to leave. But alas, such is not the case. Mananan treats the poor boy like a slave, ordering him about, constantly threatening him, and refusing to ever let him leave the premises. Often Gwydion wonders who he really is and how he came to live with the old wizard, but Mananan offers no help in that. Suddenly the front door opens and out stalks Mananan, the wizard. "Gwydion!" he shouts harshly. Gwydion rushes to his side, afraid he may be in trouble. "Why are you not working, boy?" the wizard sneers. Gwydion mumbles a faint reply. "The kitchen floor is filthy." Mananan grumbles. "So sweep it, now." Turning on his heel, the wizard re-enters the house, slamming the door behind him. Such is the story of young Gwydion's life to this point. What's a poor boy to do? Oh well. In resignation, Gwydion obediently follows Mananan into the house. So that's the intro. I kind of missed that last word in the paragraph, but obviously you can pause it and check it out for yourself. Let's do fast, speed. This is the main entry room to the wizard's house. The front door is to the south, creaky stairs to go upstairs, and doorways lead north and east. You can see most of the countryside of Ludor from this vantage point. I guess that's how you pronounce it, Ludor? Yeah. There are 2 candles attached to the wall to light your way up the dim staircase. It doesn't look interesting. The stairway leading upward has wide steps. Several of them are very creaky, though. You always try to avoid them when going up or down these stairs. So let's check out the kitchen, because this is where the kitchen is, right here. This is where Mananan eats his meals. You, of course, are not supposed to eat here. You eat in the kitchen. There's there's a pine table and benches large enough to seat at least 10 people, but the wizard has never had any guests for dinner. Huh. Moose. You scrutinize the moose head very carefully, but you see it is nothing but an old head. You do feel sorry for the poor thing, though. Oops. Flickering candles from the wrought iron lamp light the room. The large dining table is made of pine planking. Matching benches run its length on both sides. The table is big enough to seat at least 10 people. There's a little metal cup on the table. Okay. I'm too far away. Go down this way. Come on. Come on. There we go. You pick up the little tin cup and carry it with you. So we have an empty cup. This is just a simple metal cup with a handle. Cool. The large dining... Okay, we already read that, right? Window. You can see most of the countryside. Yeah, we've read that before. Look. Shelf. Nothing? Okay. It's just as it appears. Okay. So let's get sweeping. This is the kitchen of the wizard's house. Other than your own bed chamber, this is the only place in the house that you feel you can call your own. The wizard rarely enters the kitchen. On cold days, the fireplace is a cozy place to sit. Doesn't look interesting. There's an iron rack hanging on the wall by the fireplace. Your trusty knife is hanging on the rack. Your wooden serving spoon is hanging on the rack. You take the carving knife from the iron rack and keep it with you. You take the wooden spoon from the iron rack and keep it with you. And we're cleaning. You're too busy sweeping. If you don't do what the wizard tells you, you get in trouble and he sends you to your room or he kills you. I can't remember how many chances you get. The barrels only contain foodstuffs. They are too huge to move. The kitchen shelf holds many ingredients and kitchen implements for cooking. One useful item that catches your eye is the clay bowl you use for all of your mixing. You retrieve the clay bowl from the kitchen shelf and take it with you. Anything else? The kitchen shelf holds many ingredients and kitchen implements for cooking. Okay. As it is now summer, the need to light a fire and cook hot food was diminished. The fireplace is at the moment not burning. It's just your old oaken bucket. Get bucket. No, fucking bucket. It's of no use. Oak table. You use the heavy oak table when you prepare food for the wizard. Right now, there is a loaf of bread, some fruit, and a mutton chop on the table. Get food. You take the loaf of bread and carry it with you. You take the fruit and carry it with you. You take the mutton chop and carry it with you. Use a heavy oaken table when you prepare food for the wizard. That's it. Look, window. You can see most of the countryside, Ludor, from this vantage point. Okay, we've already seen that. That's pretty much it. Let's get going. So you don't want to get caught with the belongings, like with all your stuff. So you gotta be careful. It's best to hide it. So we're gonna do just that before he. Come on. Son of a bitch. Go. Oh my god. Hide all. You get on your hands and knees and quickly shove all your possessions under the bed. They will be safe from the wizard's sharp eyes there. So we have, you're carrying nothing. Okay. This is your own pitiful bed chamber compared to Mananan's fine room. Yours is almost a cell. The bed is hard and uncomfortable with only a threadbare blanket and a small flat pillow. The other furnishings are junk, but as poor as it is, it's your own haven as the wizard never enters it. Dresser. Your dresser is a piece of junk. It's full of nicks and scratches, and one drawer is completely missing. You look into the cracked mirror hanging on the wall. Your reflection shows a tall, handsome lad dressed in dirty rags. Bed. The bed is nothing more than a cot, hard and cold, and is difficult to sleep on. Your pillow is small, flat, and made of old rags. Open drawer. You have nothing of any interest in your dresser drawer. Okay. Look. Tapestry, is that how you spell it? Yeah, you have always admired this lovely tapestry. It adds one of the few bright spots to this dreary house. There's no reason to take it. You have always admired... Okay. It's just the same thing. This hallway is on the second level of the old wizard's house. There are two stairways here. One goes up and the other leads down. An open doorway is to the north. You look at Mananan's elegant bedchamber. You see fine furnishings from a regal bed to a beautifully carved closet. You can't help but compare this handsome room to your own meager cubicle. Heavy velvet curtains drape the regal mahogany bed. A beautiful rug adorns the floor. Its thick wool is woven into a colorful design. There's a small drawer in the front of the mahogany vanity. Let's save it. We don't want to get caught. And this is, today is the 28th of September. I put 29th. 28th. Yep. Let's save it just in case. Open drawer. In the vanity drawer are many uninteresting items, although the wizard's hand mirror may come in handy. You grab it, then close the drawer. You find baubles and trinkets which do not interest you. Mananan's chamber pot is on the floor beside his bed. The closet is fashioned of ornately carved mahogany. You see voluminous velvet robes, satin slippers, peaked hats, and soft linen gowns. You're startled to discover an ancient parchment scroll. Its ink has faded, but it seems to be a map. Taking this treasure, you leave everything else exactly as it was. Oh, cool. That's it. Close closet. The elegant dresser is made of mahogany. Its drawers are graced by beautiful gold knobs. You find baubles and trinkets which do not interest you. Suddenly your eye falls on something that does, a vial labeled rose petal essence, which you eagerly take. You find baubles and trinkets which do not interest you. Okay. Let's get out of here. Do not want to get caught with this stuff. That detestable pet of Mananan's is a constant annoyance. The cat. Come on, come on. What are you doing? Hide all. Okay, so we hit everything that we picked up. We don't want to get caught with that. Pet cat. The thought of doing anything nice to that obscene ball of fur makes you sick. Get cat. The despicable cat slips away from your grasp with a fierce scratch to your arm. Come here. Nimbly, you grab the nasty cat by the scruff of its neck, avoiding its needle-sharp claws. Now that you have it, what are you going to do with it? Ah, son of a bitch. You're too far away. Come on, come on. I should not have moved. Okay, get fur. Screech! You manage to pluck some fur before he viciously scratches and leaps from your arms. With grim satisfaction, you survey your wounds. Stupid cat, you scoff. Whether you know it or not, you just helped me. The detestable cat leaps from your arms, snarling and screeching. Alright, good deal. The cat stares at you with cold eyes, his tail twitching slightly. Let's go upstairs, take a look up there. Go, 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 go. Woody and I have decided to take a journey. Okay, we have 30 minutes. That timer up top, yeah, we got 30 minutes. You have entered the musty tower of the old wizard's house. A polished brass telescope is directed out a window. From here, Mananan spies upon the poor occupants of Ludor. You see nothing on the dusty floor but a dead fly. You pick up the dead fly and drop it into your hand. Disgustedly, you look at it. I don't want to carry around a dead fly, you think. Picking off its wings, you throw the rest away. The fly wings are remarkably beautiful for having come from such a disagreeable insect. You put your eye to the glass. It amazes you how near everything seems. You can even see squirrels climbing faraway trees. No wonder the wizard knows all activities in Ludor. Cool. Alright, let's get out of here. Pretty much gotten everything we need. Empty his chamber pot out the window. Wrinkling your nose in disgust, you throw the smelly contents of the chamber pot out the open window. What a way to make a living. Yeah, no kidding. Imperfections in the glass make your reflection wavy. Nevertheless, your rags show up all too clearly. But though in rags, your face is handsome and your body strong. It's just as it appears. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to get all. Dropping to your knees, you reach under the bed and retrieve all of your possessions. Now what we need to do is, we're going to try to take care of the wizard first, so we need to make a potion, or spell, rather. And that way we can take care of the evil wizard when he gets back. Mananan is very private with his study and doesn't like you poking around. The huge oak desk is covered with his writing implements. An oak cabinet is in the corner. There is a chart on the rear wall. The bookshelves are filled with books on every subject. The wizard fancies himself to be quite a scholar. Don't you remember? You emptied it yesterday. The massive desk is made from oak. The wizard does all of his reading, writing, and calculating here. The oak cabinet has a brass handle on its door. Your feather duster is lying on its top. It's just an open cabinet. You try to turn the handle, but unfortunately the door is locked. There is a key to it, and I don't remember how to get it. The magic map's ink has faded away. So far, it isn't much help. F6 to teleport.